Hey guys, Paul here, your West River Territory Sales Rep for Ag Performance. And as promised in the last video, I told you that we were going to do a deep dive into this guy right here, Xylem Plus, and this guy right here, Energy Plus. Now, we're going to start with Xylem Plus here. So this stuff is our long-term systemic fungicide. And I tell you what guys, this stuff blows things out of the water as far as performance. This stuff is a 60 to 75 day long-term residual systemic fungicide that you can either apply in furrow or over the leaf at just multiple times of the year. And this stuff, I'm telling you what guys, it works amazing. You want to talk about controlling those systemic diseases to keep that plant healthier. It does a phenomenal job on dang near anything you put on when you're talking about your varieties of corn, beans. We're going to be looking at some different trials out here when it comes to sunflowers and sorghum as well. Sorghum we're seeing really good results with this year, just beautiful green. But this product does amazing at killing all your fusariums, pythiums, and so much more, keeping that vascular system of your plant wide open. So out here we notice it takes the drought so much better. It does so well, it makes better utilization. Even if you get that ½ inch of rain, you don't necessarily get a full inch of rain or enough to get way deep down in the root system. You get that ½ inch rain and that corn plant is able to do so much more with it because its vascular system is ready. So as soon as it gets that moisture, it takes it right up into the plant. We're seeing really good results on drought resistance and test weight out here on the corn. This year we're going to see some results on the sorghum as well, and we're going to go take a look at those here in a little bit, and I'll show you what they actually look like. So that's our long-term systemic fungicide. It does great. I also actually tried it in my garden this year. I know you're going to see quite a few garden videos on here as well, because I'm a bit of a green thumb myself. And I actually tried it on my whole garden. Last year I tried a little strip of it, going, well, you know, if it absolutely hurts it, then I'm not out a whole bunch. I sprayed on everything this year, guys. I'm telling you, my pumpkins, my squash, tomatoes, cabbage, cucumbers, zucchinis, it doesn't matter. They go wild with it because it is helping take care of all those fungicidal problems, all the systemic problems. Like I said, whether you put it on in the root, by the root, on the leaf, it doesn't matter. It's going to do amazing for you. And you're going to see those results just like I do around here all the time. I love it. I won't go without it. It does great for me. Next on the list, we're going to talk about this guy right here, Energy Plus. You want to talk about some money-saving tactics. This is it right here. I tell people you got to treat this stuff like Frank's Hot Sauce and just put it on everything because there's nothing that it doesn't go on. Again, in one of my earlier videos, you saw me talking about it with my pumpkins. It's doing amazing this year. I am getting massive mammoth pumpkins, multiple pumpkins on one vine. And you say, well, how do you know you're getting all those pumpkins on one vine? Well, it's pretty easy when you only plant one plant. So that makes a world of difference. All the rest of them out there, like jumbo jack-o'-lanterns or regular jack-o'-lanterns, they're just doing tremendous for me this year. I put this on them. I put it on the rest of my garden, my lawn, hay fields, pastures, alfalfa, and every row crop you have. This stuff belongs on there. Last year, I did a side-by-side trial on one of my pastures, and I picked up a 2,000 pounds per acre difference on my pasture. That's how much difference it made to me. It was phenomenal. And I'm not talking dry matter. I'm talking I went out there and I did a hoop ring toss, went out there and clipped it off at the ground so I was perfectly level, perfectly consistent with each one of my tests. And that's how much I picked up because that's what the cow's eating the green grass. I know she's not going to get all the way down to the ground, but I clip it off down at the ground to make sure I get that consistency. But the main part where you see it is up in the foliage. You have bigger, thicker, taller foliage higher up on the plant. And it did so well. Even after I pulled my spring calvers off there last year, I need a place to put my fall calvers for a little while. Put my fall calvers out there, and after I got them feeding them their hay, guess which part of the pasture they went to? They went right back to that half of that Energy Plus was sprayed because even though the grass was brown, there was still more plant matter there for them to go nibble at in their boredom. So it did absolutely great. Energy Plus Plus is our prebiotic stimulant, which means it stimulates the microbes that already exist in your ground. That's why it works so well no matter where you take it, because this is going to help feed those bugs and get them growing no matter where you're at, no matter which environment. Like I said, whether it be out in my alfalfa field or my garden, whatever microbes are present in those situations, that's what's going to help do. I love applying it to my alfalfa. I think it made my alfalfa even more drought tolerant because it's not stressed so hard in those situations. After every cutting, I let that alfalfa get about 3 inches tall, and I go out there and I spray this Energy Plus on. It does just phenomenal for me. I absolutely love it. Like I said, after every cutting, instead of trying to load things up in the spring or do the fall applications, after every cutting, I see the difference. I've noticed the difference, and I won't ever go back. So. Let's head out and take a look at our row crops, because that's the main thing we're targeted on right now, because this is the fall deep dive video. I know you probably looked at the video and went, holy smokes, this thing's like 15 minutes or something long. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, how long exactly it's going to be, but we're doing the fall deep dive, and I want to focus this fall on our row crops, because that's where we're going to be seeing the results. That's where the proof is in the pudding, money meets the road type situation. And so we'll see just how well it's really doing out in the fields, and how actually strategically it helped us this year by picking up yield difference. Obviously we're not quite ready to combine yet, but we can definitely see it in how the crops are looking right now. You're going to see that green, that deeper green, more green to the plants. There's a lot of row crops out there that don't actually finish their full maturity like they're supposed to, because these systemic diseases are running rampant in their vascular system. And that's what our goal is with this stuff, Xylem Plus, is to clean that stalk up, make it stronger, make it better. The results I'm seeing right now, I'm like sorghum this year, I'm kind of doing the pioneering on it right now, because I'm the farthest west rep we got. So, but we're seeing bigger, stronger, healthier stalks. I know the biggest concern about sorghum is, well, God, what if I get a really bad windstorm in the fall here and all that stuff lays over on me? Well, we're hoping to negate a lot of that stuff with the Xylem Plus, because this year not only did we just put on sorghum, we put on sorghum that was planted into corn ground. And we're able to pull that off because, shout out to Sorghum Partners, of their new double team sorghum varieties. That's what got planted out here this year. We're looking for a better, different crop rotation. And oh man, it's blowing things out of the water. It's doing great. Cleaned the fields up nice. They stayed clean. And with the help of this, we're negating all the diseases, because milo and corn share a lot of the same disease problems because they're really close in relationship. So, but it's just doing phenomenal. But let's head out and take a look at the things out in the field so we can actually see what's going on out there.
Okay guys, so we're out here in the test plot now, and you can see they're still green, just, I want to say, about 2.5 feet up off the ground there. We had some really hot days, and this corn's really maturing fast. But then you go over here, right across the rows, where we shut the Xylem Plus off, and you can see where those brown leaves are all the way up, right here to the ear already. So it has made a huge difference in what we have been doing out here as far as fungicidal protection long term. So it's just doing fantastic out here. Now let's go break some plants apart and see how they really look on the inside.
Okay guys, and before I want to cut these open here real quick, I just wanted to also show you what's going on underground here with the Energy Plus. Can you tell which one's got the fungicide and the Energy Plus on it? Because I sure can. Look at the root difference in those two. With Energy Plus, you get better microbial activity, better availability of nutrients, so you're going to have a better root mass earlier on in life. These are the same varieties, 30 feet apart. Same varieties. And look how much greener that one is. It means later on in the year, it's able to put more nutrients into that ear. More moisture later on in the year, allowing you to have higher test weights, better bushel turnout. So, alright, well, let's cut these bad boys open and see what that fungicide is doing inside for you. Okay guys, we've got them cut open here. This is exactly what I'm talking about. We'll see if the camera can
in here. Good enough. All right. They both got a decent amount of weight in them yet, for especially as late in the year as we're talking here. But this is where it really makes a difference. Let's see if I lay these guys over top of each other here so I can go side by side. All right, right here, you see how thin that brown line is right there? Hardly any brown right there. Those are your nodes. That's what's going to cut off moisture when that plant starts dying. Now you come over here, look how thick that is. Look how far into dying that plant is, all the way up that stem. It's done. It's ready to quit and go home. This guy right here, hardly any brown in that one, hardly any in that one. It's still got some juice dripping out of it actually. But there's no, hardly any dying off those nodules yet. So this plant is able to take water all the way up that stalk yet. That's why it's still green. This one, calling it quits for the year. It's done, dried up, couldn't get the moisture it needs to where it wanted to go. So that's the difference right there on the corn side of things on how the Xylem and Energy Plus works. The difference it makes in the ruts and the difference it makes in the stalks. And the difference it makes in the ears too. Alright, let's go check out the sorghum. Alright guys, we are back in the shop now because it got crazy windy out there while I was trying to dig these plants up. But here is the examples of what you can see the difference in when you have the Xylem Energy Plus and without the Xylem Energy Plus. Now, look at that root system right there. I don't know about you, but I see a heck of a difference in that root system. Deeper, better roots. I dug up quite a few plants, and every time I dug up plants, I could hear those roots popping. I just tried to keep going deeper and deeper no matter what I did. I kept breaking off these bottom roots here. I got some broken tips here that just kept going deeper and deeper. And I was digging a foot down trying to get these roots out in holes, and it just wasn't happening today because that dirt has been crazy dry lately with all the heat units we got. But look at that green on there. All the way. Now, you can see that head is still turning. It's turning right on schedule. No different than that guy right there. This one's an earlier day variety. So this one is turning a little bit earlier than this one is. But those heads are turning right on schedule, and look how much more green that plant is. That is a crazy amount of difference. This plant's dying off. This plant's staying green. Gonna keep trying to fill that head, gonna keep putting more test weight in. This guy has been done already. Let's see if the camera can zoom in on that, or focus in on that a little bit better here. That plant's done. Now look at this plant. It actually shot an extra head out that is even a little more green yet, because it said, no, I'm not done yet. You gave me moisture, so guess what? I'm gonna put out another head for you there. But, okay, we're gonna go ahead and split these plants open to see the difference inside. Okay guys, here we are with these two split open, and look at that difference right there. So you need to zoom in a little better for us, take the shadow off of it. Look how white that is. Pure white, all the way down to that crown. Now, you go to this guy right here, and you can see those nodules starting to turn brown. They're turning brown on you, which means that plant is done, shut down. It has been shut down for a while now because we're seeing the brown nodules all the way up here. That far up the plant, that means that this part started dying a long time ago. We're talking weeks ago is when that started dying. This guy right here is still green all the way down here. This plant's not dead yet. It's not even starting to die yet. And yet, that head is maturing right. So, between that one, if I can get the right head here, obviously you can tell a size difference there. But between that one and this one, which one do you think is going to have the better test weight? Obviously, you're going to get more yield out of that one right there. But I'm guessing this one's going to be a lot lighter test weight as well. So.
Alright guys, as usual, thank you so much very much for watching. If you have any questions at all or like anything you saw on this video here, hit up Ag Performance, look for this badge. You'll know you're in the right spot there. Huge shout out to Sorghum Partners. They co-op with us to bring this stuff to you. Our sorghum, our pearl millet, all of our BMR sorghums, our alfalfa, they do a phenomenal job, and I am looking so much to the future of doing business with these guys and being in cooperation with them because they have phenomenal genetics. This sorghum right here that you're seeing in front of me is actually their new double team varieties that you guys have heard so much about. Maybe you haven't. The double team varieties are a grass herbicide resistant variety out there, which means you can kill those grasses out of them. So huge shout out to Sorghum Partners. Again, if you like anything you saw here, Google Ag Performance, Google Xylem Plus, Google Energy Plus. It'll take you right to us and we will hook you up with your closest dealer. So thank you very much for watching. Catch you guys next week.